Hello you, I'm Daniel, this is Chris, and you're watching the Superhero Show because you're so smart. This week we're basically going to be just talking about Guardians of the Galaxy because we've got the first trailer and we'll be discussing whether it's the new Star Wars or possibly Marvel's first misstep. But you first have got some exciting announcements to make.
We have the winners of our Lego contest, which Daniel trailed last week. We've been inundated with feedback and entries, actually. It was quite exciting.
Yeah, it screwed up my inbox.
Do you know how many we've had so far?
I do not know, Chris. You're going to attack me with a fact.
217 was the last count. Lots and lots of feedback, some of which we'll get to at the end of the show. Yes. Not all of it, because it would take us 8 hours.
Only 3 of them actually watched the show.
But I have the names of the winners, and they are... And can I have a drum roll, please, Rich? Edward Spence, Bob McKendrick, Adam Martin, Scott Cope, and... So do one of those breaks like they do in the X Factor.
Wait.
Josh Green.
There you go, Josh.
There you go. And what have they won, Dan?
So they've won all of the new Batman Lego range, which is 4 distinct sets, from a little small one to a big one, featuring the Joker, Man-Bat, Riddler, and they'll be on their way to you very shortly, but I'll be in touch after this.
We're giving away all 5, so you wouldn't let me have one.
Yeah. Sorry about that, Chris. So... the big news, the only news of this week, really, unless something happens after we recorded this, like last time, which is really annoying. The Guardians of the Galaxy trailer has been unleashed upon the world.
Yeah, well, it started with 4 stills being dropped. USA Today dropped 4 stills. Not the most exciting of stills.
And this new precedent of a teaser for a teaser trailer.
Yeah, a teaser trailer, which was 19 seconds long, and it was just flashes of a lot of the characters. But then, we got the full trailer, which was, I think, about 2 minutes, 30 seconds of Guardians goodness.
So, this week we're going to just briefly discuss whether we think it could be the new Star Wars, because there's definitely something of that going on in there. Or could it be a possible misstep for Marvel, which they've yet to really make?
So this was I saw most of this trailer when I went on set 6 months ago, so there weren't really any surprises for me, but what was your first impression of it?
I like the tone of it. Because I like the fact that it kind of poked fun of itself almost within the first 10-15 seconds.
Yeah.
It started with this kind of almost slightly Indiana Jones shot of him picking up this ancient artifact, and it seemed quite ominous and foreboding, and then it immediately undercut itself when the guy was like, "Who are you?" And then I think that kind of, you went, "Oh, I know what you're going for here." And I think as the trailer went on, Peter Serafinowicz's kind of deadpan humour and the soundtrack choices really help, even though it's only 2 minutes and it's a very high concept film with a lot going on. I think they kind of convey the tone quite well.
Yeah, I liked it when he called them a-holes.
Yeah.
Which was apparently an ad-lib that the director James Gunn threw at Peter. And Peter didn't want to say it because he said Brits don't say a-holes.
Yeah.
But it sounds quite funny coming from a Brit.
It's funny in his voice. He does deadpan very well. He's got a very kind of deep, like, Liverpudlian accent.
Yeah. And what did you think about your first look at a lot of the characters in action?
I really like the look of Groot. Particularly when there's that very, very brief shot of him and Rocket fighting back to back. It's almost actually, I wonder if they've done it intentionally, it reminded me strongly of the shot from The Avengers, where you've got the kind of Michael Bay pan around and the action unfolding around them. So I don't know whether they're making a parallel there, but I thought Groot looked great. So can you, even though you've been on set and you're embargoed up to the eyeballs, is there anything you can tell us? Or
yeah, well, some stuff's actually come out. Total Film did an interview with James about the trailer, and some of the stuff in that is some of the stuff that we were told on set, so I can talk about that. I mean, one of the things I'm really excited about being a child of the 80s is the soundtrack. You've got Hooked on a Feeling playing during the trailer, and James says in that interview a big part of the film for Peter Quill, the main character, is the fact that he's kind of kidnapped from Earth in the 80s as a child, and his only connection with Earth is his Sony Walkman, which has a mixtape on it, and he obviously likes rock songs and power ballads, and so the soundtrack of the movie is going to be filled with songs like that, and I think we're going to see some action sequences done to some of those songs, and I can't really talk about which ones they told us on set, but it had me properly excited. Like, because it'd just be a kind of action and science fiction that we've not seen before.
Because you're a huge fan of Back to the Future, as I am, but you in particular, and that film is laced with those kind of songs.
But they're at the time. That's because it was 1985.
But then what you've got is, I'm going to use an English literature word here, the juxtaposition of that kind of, this really far out there deep space fantasy stuff going on against this kind of very banal, dated...
There's nothing banal or dated about power ballads.
Or the 80s.
Put that
Acid wash jeans.
That's on the record. But equally, I think Chris Pratt is also kind of pitching Peter Quill, or Star-Lord, as kind of a cross between Indiana Jones and Han Solo and Marty McFly. So I think we're going to see that kind of wisecracking.
Did he used to be chubbier than he is now? Because there's that shot in the trailer when he hasn't got his shirt on. It's like,
yeah, no, they told him when he got the part.
He prepped.
They told him, if you want this part, you have to get in shape. And he was under quite a lot of pressure, and hence I think it became quite a famous shot that he Instagrammed of him in the gym with his six-pack. Just, I think, proving to the world, look, I've done it, yeah.
Back off.
But it's a great incentive to lose weight and get in shape, that you're going to be the lead in a Hollywood blockbuster.
If that could happen, that'd be great.
I could do with some help like that. So yeah, that's got me quite excited.
What do you think of the fancy look of it? Do you, we're obviously using that. It's a bit of a provocative question, saying, is it the new Star Wars?
Yeah.
And I think there's a good case to be made for the Marvel movies in general being this generation's Star Wars kind of movies. Like, this generation of kids are going to grow up with Marvel films being part of their kind of everyday landscape. The figures, the comics, the TV shows, all of it. But this in particular, the sci-fi, the treatment of it, did it kind of ring any bells for you? Or
it depends how real they can make it, I think. You can't tell much from a trailer. They've got to build a universe that we can really believe in. And that's what Star Wars did for us as kids. If they can do that, you know, with these aliens, all these different planets, it's believing that this is a living, breathing environment that these guys are in. I think they could have a massive winner on their hands. But as we've seen, this can go wrong. You know, it's not long since John Carter came out, and it just did not work.
No.
And it did ring alarm bells for me, the post-credit sequence in Thor, when we saw Benicio del Toro's character. And it just looked a little bit out there, a little bit...
It was a bit jarring, I think. The tone of it was off. Now, that comes after Thor, which I think Dark World, they went for the most part, quite a sombre tone, even though there's kind of comedic elements when he does his whole Crocodile Dundee shtick at the end when he's in London with the tube. It's quite a dark film, so it's quite difficult to introduce that as an Easter egg, I think, into Thor. It'd be interesting after one film to see where it goes next, because even though they're establishing the cosmic element of the Marvel Universe on film, I don't think it's going to be that long before it's united with what's happening on Earth, and the Avengers being a possible kind of nexus or a way to introduce them to, because we know Gamora's character, she was raised by Thanos. Thanos was there at the end of the first Avengers movie. There's going to be ties that are established. We've seen the Infinity Gauntlet in the Thor movies in the background, so I feel like all the pieces are kind of in play. If this is a huge success, the film the storyline that brings them all together kind of gets kicked up a gear in maybe Avengers 3.
Yeah. I mean, to make very direct comparisons, Star-Lord and Han Solo look kind of similar as characters. Could Groot be this generation's Chewbacca?
He's a bit chewy, isn't he?
Yeah.
But what about Rocket? He didn't speak in the trailer.
No, they're still recording his dialogue, apparently.
Right, okay. This is Bradley Cooper.
Yeah, but like I say, that trailer wasn't that different to the one that I think played at Comic-Con, and certainly that I was shown on set. So I think that's been locked down for quite a long time. They added a couple of bits in, and certainly Zoe Saldana's character, Nebula, I don't think was in the original footage of what I saw. I'm trying to remember now. But I just don't think they're ready. I mean, it's a cool reveal for them to have for the next trailer. They've got a while for it to be released, and there's a few characters. None of the villains are really seen too well in that one. So you've got Glenn Close's character, Lee Pace's character, who's big in the movie. There's a few more reveals to come yet. So yeah, I mean, I'm excited. Like, it seemed to send the
cautiously
Twitter...
optimistic. Is that the best way to express it?
Yeah.
Okay. So that's what we think of the Guardians of the Galaxy based on a 2-minute trailer. So I don't think you can draw any firm conclusions yet. We'd love to hear what you think of the Guardians of the Galaxy film, what it means for the Marvel Cinematic Universe in general. So don't be afraid to contact us on Twitter. You're at Tilly Tweets and I'm at Krupa, or that catchy email address, which I still haven't changed, which is IGN_UK feedback at IGN.com. See, I couldn't even say it was that catchy. But before we end today's show, we've got some feedback.
We got so much feedback, so thank you, and sorry we can't get to everyone's. We have a big pile now that we can kind of sort through each week, and hopefully we'll get more coming in, but I've just picked out a couple of things. I had an email from Scott Cope, who mentioned something that came up a couple of weeks ago, but we haven't had time to talk about. There are rumours that Dwayne Johnson might be cast as Jon Stewart, not the American talk show host.
No.
But one of the Green Lanterns. So, Police Corps. So, do you think that would be good casting if that turns out to be true?
I Oh, well, the thing is, I like Dwayne Johnson. I think he's great in the films he started to do recently. And I think he's got more skills as an actor than a lot of people would initially think. But that JLA movie, or what is Batman vs Superman at the moment, it seems to be embracing alternative casting and unorthodox casting. Mm-hmm. So it wouldn't surprise me. Do I think he's good? I don't know. I think he's a decent actor. He's got action credibility, but I don't think that film or JLA movie needs maybe a known actor in that role. You could go someone like lesser known, I think.
Yeah, I mean, obviously it didn't go well, the last Green Lantern movie with poor old Ryan Reynolds, and Dwayne Johnson became known as franchise Viagra, they called him, because he came on board the Fast and Furious movies and they suddenly started making a lot more money. He boarded G.I. Joe and that made a lot more money globally, the sequel did. So could he be the one to turn around Green Lantern when it's gone wrong?
I like the idea of franchise Viagra. What are we going to do?
But yeah, that's a thought. Let us know what you think about that. And then we had a couple of Batman messages. Adam Martin...
Messages from Batman.
Yeah, sorry, that doesn't sound right. Bob McKendrick first, maybe, one of our competition winners, asked about the Gotham TV show and saying whether we thought that for a young Jonathan Crane / Scarecrow, Benedict Cumberbatch would be good casting. Yes. What do you reckon?
Well, it's 2014. You get Benedict Cumberbatch to play anything.
Yeah.
He's like the new Ben Affleck. You get him to do anything. If you remade Jaws, get Benedict Cumberbatch.
Cumberbatch or Fassbender in every role?
Not Fassbender. This isn't 2012, 2013. We're now firmly into Cumberbatch era.
Yeah.
So now Cumberbatch, it should be in everything from now on to the end of time. Every film from now on is a one-man play. Yeah.
Yeah, all right, we're on board for that one. And finally, Adam Martin emailed us something that comes up a lot, actually. Asked us who is our favourite actor to have ever played Batman. And he includes everything in this. So he's got Adam West, Christian Bale, George Clooney, Kevin Conroy, Michael Keaton, Reno Romano, Roger Craig Smith, Val Kilmer, Will Arnett. The newest Batman.
Exhaustive, that list.
Didn't put Ben Affleck, but I guess we don't know yet.
What would you plump for?
I am a massive Michael Keaton fan. I just like he's not got the physical presence, but the insanity in Michael Keaton's eyes and those eyebrows. I thought I really believed in that he would put on a batsuit and go out and hunt crime at night.
See, I was going to say something similar. Like, I love Michael Keaton. If you know me at all, like, Beetlejuice is one of my favourite films of all time. But I'm going to say Christian Bale. I'm going to go recent. I'm going to say Christian Bale for similar reasons to you for Keaton. Because I think Christian Bale, if his parents were brutally murdered as a child, Christian Bale would have devoted his entire life to exacting vengeance and restoring his father's city. So Christian Bale.
He'd just do that if someone walked in his eye line, though.
Yeah.
It doesn't take much to set him off.
He's unhinged. He's really, genuinely, desperately unhinged.
Adam's a big Kevin... Yes, I didn't say that. Adam's a big Kevin Conroy fan, and I think a lot of people see Conroy as their favourite. Yeah, and I've actually got a real soft spot for Adam West as well, but I know that's ridiculous. A very different kind of Batman.
Ridiculous.
It is ridiculous. I just love Adam West.
Okay, well, on that note, the revelation of Chris' deep-seated love for Adam West, we'll leave you for this week, but we hope to see you next time on The Superhero Show.